Data onboarding has been a time-consuming and manual process for too long. Between spreadsheet templates, writing custom scripts, and implementation services, getting data from a customer into your software takes a long time and costs a lot of money. It's a critical manual step in your customer's onboarding process, with no easy way to get it done. Until now. Flat File Concierge automatically converts, validates, and maps all of your data into the specific format you need. In just a few clicks, your data goes from messy and unorganized to validated and ready to use. All with no code required, so you'll be set up in minutes. Need to collaborate with your customer? Don't email sensitive data back and forth. Flat File Concierge lets you invite your customer to a secure, real-time shared workspace. Now you can give your customers a seamless data onboarding experience and save hours doing it. Join the hundreds of businesses who use Flat File to solve their data chaos and are focused on creating long-term value for their customers and their business. Start your free trial now.
Hello and welcome back to the Customer Success Festival. I hope you're enjoying today's presentations. Just a quick reminder that you can join fellow attendees in our Slack community. Just follow the link at the top of the event website. And now, on to our next speaker.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name's Isabel. I'm the Director of Customer Success at Vonage for EMEA. I'm here to talk to you about leading a CS team through transformative times. I'm excited and honored to be speaking alongside such incredible CS leaders and influencers, and to have the opportunity to share some of my insights with you. So before we get started, I'd love to tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Canada on the East Coast in Montreal. We're best known for our amazing restaurant scene, our beloved hockey team, the Habs, and our franglais, that's Montreal slang for speaking half English and half French. I started my career in sales at PepsiCo Beverages. I was out on the road selling soft drinks to restaurants, bars, and recreational clubs in a territory that spanned from the heart of the city all the way to the US border. My experience in sales helped me realize that what I truly loved about working with customers was building and nurturing relationships. So about 6 years ago, I pivoted into tech and I pursued an account management opportunity at a small startup. Our account management role at SuiteIQ evolved into a CSM role, and I evolved with it. I saw the company through rapid growth and 2 different acquisitions. During my time there, I worked as a CSM, a CS team lead, and a senior manager of support. I learned so many valuable lessons by being exposed to all these different facets of the customer experience. But my biggest takeaway was understanding how to continuously adapt our customer experience to an ever-changing environment. Prior to joining Vonage, I moved to another Montreal-based software company where I became Director of Customer Success. My proudest moment there was the work we did around customer journey mapping and how we leveraged it as a tool to scale our customer experience and foster a culture of customer centricity within the business. Although I loved my time in Montreal, I was looking for a change. I'd always wanted to experience life in a new city. So when I had the opportunity to join the Vonage team, I jumped at the chance to not only work for an amazing company, but also move to my favorite place in the world, London. So I packed a year's supply of maple syrup and I started my new life here in September. My approach is founded in driving cross-functional alignment at all levels through trust and transparency. In different leadership roles, I've successfully created high-performing teams built for scale. I strive to foster an environment where my team is empowered to challenge the status quo and highly collaborative. I was so keen to speak with you all today to share some insights on managing a CS team through transformational times, namely through the major shifts brought about by COVID-19 and how it shaped our environment. So I hope that the content we'll cover together today will resonate and serve you well if you feel like you're facing something similar. But before we dive in, let me give you a bit of context by telling you more about Vonage and our CS team. Vonage is a global cloud communications leader, helping businesses accelerate their digital transformation. Vonage's communication platform is fully programmable and allows for the integration of video, voice, chat, messaging, and verification into existing products, workflows, and systems. Vonage's fully programmable unified communications and contact center applications are built from the Vonage Communications platform and enable companies to transform how they communicate and operate from the office or anywhere, providing enormous flexibility and ensuring business continuity. I lead our customer success team for our cloud contact center solution in EMEA and UK markets. We're part of a wider customer success organization that includes functions from account management to professional services, including onboarding and project management. Our advice and guidance team provides our customers with access to useful tips about our product. And last but not least, we have our customer support team available globally 24/7. We have a strong foundation in place to ensure our customers have what they need to be successful with Vonage. I don't think it's an understatement to say that COVID has impacted every aspect of our lives. So today I want to share my lessons learned and practical tips for navigating the new normal and helping our customers do the same. So I'm going to focus on 3 key areas of impact. The first is our customers. Our clients had to quickly adapt to moving their operations remote almost overnight. I'll take you through an example of how we help them do it and some insights on how you can support your customers right now. Second, the customer success team. Our CS team needed to get creative about how to solve challenges, having made a quick shift to work from home themselves. I'll share some of the great initiatives and ideas they came up with to continue delivering a great customer experience and help each other out. And my last point will be around leadership. Dealing with rapid changes and more variables than ever before has added an additional layer of complexity to leadership. I'll share a few tools that help me show up as the best version of myself and to set the stage for continued team engagement and collaboration. So let's get started. Hotelbeds is a well-established industry-leading bed bank operating out of the UK. Earlier last year, when the pandemic hit, Hotelbeds needed to transition to a remote working environment for their contact center and other personnel. The company needed to upgrade and migrate its entire structure to a single platform that integrated seamlessly with Salesforce. Vonage Contact Center with Salesforce integration was the solution. They transitioned to a remote working environment and now operate on a single cloud-based contact center platform. Call answer times and answer rates have been improved, costs have been reduced, and customers now benefit from greater call stability and audio quality. So since successfully deploying our solution, Hotelbeds was able to pivot their business, benefit from cost savings, and improve their customer experience. So how did our CSMs pivot in order to help our customers, such as Hotelbeds, achieve their goals? Our incredible team has worked so hard to keep our customers thriving. And though I want to share it all with you today, I'll walk you through 2 of the many strategies that had standout results for us. The first is around quarterly business reviews. As you well know, a QBR is one of our most important touch points with the customers. Its purpose is to bridge the gap between the work that we're doing and illustrate how it's helping our customers achieve their desired outcomes. It's a chance to share wins, progress, and new product capabilities. As our clients' needs were evolving through the pandemic faster than ever before, we needed to ensure this crucial touch point was still meeting those needs. So we took the opportunity to revisit our framework, and we made key changes to ensure that our CSMs were having fruitful discussions. That way, we could deliver even more valuable insights and recommendations. So we started first by trimming it down. For instance, we moved platform stability metrics reporting to a separate monthly meeting to allow for a more focused discussion and keep more tactical items to be discussed for another time. We also left parts of the presentation more open-ended with helpful discussion prompts. This created more opportunities for customers to provide feedback throughout. For instance, we shared the most recent satisfaction scores so that customers could help us understand the reason behind their rating and provide additional details to help us improve. Another thing that was very helpful when we launched the new framework is that we sent the new agenda ahead of time, which helped get the right people in the room and set the right expectations for the purpose of the meeting. The new format generated a renewed sense of energy and new ideas from our CSMs. And one of them even added a highlight section, sharing key milestones achieved from the previous quarter, which was really well received by the clients. Our efforts resulted in an increase in engagement from the right client stakeholders. Decision makers who were harder to pin down became more interested in participating. We got more visibility on what we needed from the clients to align on their business objectives and ultimately build richer success plans. Another area that we needed to revisit was our enterprise customer journey. In-person meetings just aren't an option right now. We've had to adapt how we're managing our enterprise accounts. Usually, we would host workshops on site over several days. They would do wonders to solidify our relationships, and we'd come away with a lot of positive takeaways and action items. Since there's an increased level of complexity with enterprise clients, we still needed a solution to give both parties clarity and visibility on projects in flight and continue to build trust. This is where Smartsheets came in really handy. Smartsheets is a project management tool we use here at Vonage. It's generally used by our professional services team. However, our CSMs adopted it for our enterprise clients to keep track of all the moving pieces with these accounts. Creating a Smartsheet allowed CSMs to reduce the email back and forth, provide clients with real-time updates on any outstanding items, and create a more efficient way to manage tasks and improve accountability. Tasks are getting completed a lot quicker, and our customer satisfaction has greatly improved. Let's move on to our second focus area, our CS team. As a manager, it's my number one priority to get to know each individual CSM and establish a level of trust. One of the ways I was able to build collaboration and engagement was CSM involvement in strategic decisions. A recent example is our teamwork to build our 2021 CS plan. I'll take you through some benefits I gained by involving my team in building my annual plan, and I'll follow with a few tools that I found helpful to generate these discussions. Including CSMs in strategic discussions allows them to exercise that strategic muscle in a new way and build their confidence around conducting conversations with customers about their vision for the future. It also helps CSM understand why things have been identified as priorities, making it easier to bring them on board with your plan and get their buy-in. It's also a really great chance for you to make sure that you're not missing out on their thoughts or ideas or any major pain points that could be stunting their growth and progress. Giving them a platform to voice their concerns constructively gives you an opportunity to broadly address pains and work through blockers affecting multiple team members. It's also a great time to celebrate team strengths. This is a team confidence booster and reinforces what they're really good at. It's good to focus on the positive and remind them why they're amazing. Lastly, giving them input and say around what should be prioritized will result in stronger alignment between you and your team. Admittedly, it can be a little bit difficult to get these discussions going. So let me share a couple tools that I use to help spark the conversation. What you're looking at here is the customer experience and outcomes quadrant. This is a tool that allows you to identify customers who are healthy or at risk. On the vertical axis, we have degree of positive experience, and on the horizontal, better delivery outcome. Each quadrant represents a different level of client health and engagement. The quadrants include at risk, which represents customers that have had a great experience engaging with us, but we didn't fully deliver the business results the customer expected. Can often be misclassified as healthy because the sentiment might be a false positive. Next, we have detract. This refers to customers that said they do not have a great experience with us. Our product and services didn't necessarily meet their goals or expectations. Third, we have drive growth and advocate. Customers have reached their desired outcomes and they've had an outstanding experience with us that exceeded their expectations. They are highly engaged and likely to expand. They actively share their positive experiences via word of mouth or reviews and generate referrals. And lastly is renew and don't expand. These are customers that reach their desired outcomes but said they didn't have a great experience. They may stay with us, but may not expand their engagement. They might even be looking at competitors who may claim to have a better experience or cost less. So when we implemented it, we sent it out to our CSMs in advance to fill it out, and then we collectively reviewed the results as a group. The purpose of this exercise was to get CSMs to be 100% honest about where their clients actually sit in this graph. For example, at our first pass, we had a lot in drive growth and advocate. Some of them may have been more accurately placed in renew and don't expand category. The goal here was to help CSMs understand the difference between meeting expectations and delivering true value. Ultimately, it was meant to challenge them on where they thought their accounts were at and how they could deliver more value and more meaningful results. Another way to leverage this tool would be to have the account management team go through the same exercise and compare results with the CSMs to align on any conflicting information and increase forecasting accuracy on upsell opportunities or account risks. Our discussion resulted in the team sharing best practices and common pitfalls around each of the categories. And we also ended up with some key takeaways of 5 playbooks to help reduce risk in these areas, and we gained better clarity on account health. The next exercise to help foster discussion was stop, start, continue. So this is a really simple brainstorming exercise. It should be done as a group, and you can use the platform of your choice. We kept things really simple and had just a quick shared doc up on our screen. Be prepared to take note of what comes up in the discussion and set aside at least 30 minutes. Generally 60 is better. About 10 to 20 minutes per section should be enough. The goal here is to uncover pain points, identify your current versus desired state, and highlight team strengths and hone in on areas that need improvement. We ended up with a comprehensive list of activities and initiatives we needed to improve our customer and employee experience. We identified department silos that needed to be broken down, and we also identified team strengths that we could leverage to move these initiatives forward. All right, let's move on to our last key focus area, CS leadership. I am the first to admit that sometimes I can be just a little bit of a control freak and a planner. I love having a step-by-step detailed outline, and I need to know exactly where I'm headed at all times. It's a trait that's enabled me to excel in the CS space because I am process-driven and meticulous. However, it does not always feel like it's working in my favor in every scenario. Enter the pandemic. I'm actively working on finding ways to plan in a way that allows me and my team to be more flexible and adaptable. This is much easier said than done, since a lot of CS initiatives take about 6 to 12 months to truly see the results of your efforts. But through trial and error, a lot of reading, and consulting with fellow colleagues and contacts, I stumbled upon a few things that helped. My hope is that you can use this framework as your foundation for handling unknowns. I chose to highlight 2 areas to focus on when adapting your leadership style through change: supporting yourself and supporting your team. Everything around us is moving so fast. When was the last time you had a chance to take pause and reflect on who you are as a leader? What are your values and guiding principles that help you navigate the day? The answers to these questions will act as your compass when you're trying to plot a course through the unknowns. Here are a couple of ways you can reconnect with your intention and your values. I started keeping a work journal. I'm a very visual person, so journaling has worked really well for me. I make a habit of writing for just a couple minutes in the morning before I start my day to remind myself what I'm grateful for at work, what are some wins I'm proud of, where did I make a mistake, and what did I learn from it. Writing it out has helped me process the events in my work life a lot more effectively. The second, and one that I really struggle with the most, is stepping away when you get tunnel vision. Disconnecting 100% can be so scary, especially when you're feeling stuck or drained. But even just an hour away focused on something entirely new or different can give you a new perspective and get ideas flowing again. I recently started cooking new recipes for my support bubble here in London. My Saturdays are dedicated to discovering new food and spending the entire day making an ambitious meal. Pivoting to a new challenge, completely unrelated to work, has helped me show up on Monday refreshed and renewed for the week ahead. And I end up with lots of amazing leftovers. Last is taking care of yourself through movement and outdoor time. Don't underestimate the power of exercise. The biggest challenge I had was actually getting up and doing something. So instead of trying to overachieve by signing up for a 50-minute online boot camp class I'll probably end up skipping, I started setting myself small daily 10 to 20-minute fitness challenges. Even this small bit of movement helped clear my head and work through COVID brain fog. Outdoor time is important too, because humans are like houseplants, but with more complex emotions. We need sunlight and water and fresh air. And no matter how cold or snowy or rainy it is outside, a walk makes everything better, especially with a to-go cup of warm coffee or tea, or even wine for your evening promenades. You might be thinking that these things seem so straightforward and obvious, and I wholeheartedly agree. However, I don't know about you, but when the going gets tough at work, outdoor walks, exercise, and other ways to take care of myself often get pushed aside. I've learned and relearned this lesson time and time again, but I show up as a better leader if I've taken the time to feel good. These activities reminded me that my leadership values are rooted in transparency and empowerment. By keeping these top of mind, the actions I take in a day reflect that intent, and I can act from a place of confidence, knowing that those principles are always steering me in the right direction. So how are you supporting your team? Are your CSMs taking good care of themselves? And are you ensuring that you're clearly giving them permission to do so? Make sure to check in frequently and confirm that they're taking advantage of employee wellness programs and PTO, because happy CSMs mean happy customers. Check in on your objectives more frequently. Is that target you set 6 months ago still relevant based on recent changes, like new market conditions, or maybe a change in resources or capacity? Make sure you're setting expectations accordingly so your team isn't experiencing overwhelming amounts of pressure. When things are rocky, development plans and coaching opportunities can sometimes fall by the wayside, but don't lose sight of these, as they can be powerful tools to build motivation and engagement even through rough waters. Provide a lot of different channels for feedback. Not everyone will be comfortable sharing in a group setting or face-to-face. And follow up and take action, because nothing is worse than being asked for feedback and not getting a response or follow-up. Implementing with agility is also key. Done is way better than perfect. Since things are moving so quickly these days, even small actions can make a big impact. Sometimes it's better to break down a big initiative into small parts so your team can continuously benefit from small changes instead of waiting months for one big rollout. And last but most important, celebrate the wins. Make sure you're sharing the highlights. At our weekly team meeting, we start by celebrating big renewals, customer case studies, and any other CSM milestones and achievements. To conclude, I'd like to leave you with this quote by Scott Sonnenschein from the book I'm currently reading called Stretch. What I love most about this book is that it's a powerful reminder that we already have what we need around us to be tremendously successful. As I'm here on behalf of Vonage, I want to extend a massive thank you to my team of extraordinary CSMs and incredibly talented colleagues that have been instrumental in the success of our team and our customers. I'd also like to thank Gemma from Future of SaaS and her fantastic team for organizing this event. I'm so grateful to be part of this engaged and talented global customer success community. Thank you for your time and interest in today's session. I'd love to connect with you to talk about CS, so please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're interested in following the exciting things that our team at Vonage is up to, then you can follow us on LinkedIn here. Thank you so much.